Another one I want to talk about though is Dan Hooker.
Okay. Yeah,
so Dan Hooker, he's been mentioning a little bit on who his next opponent he'd like to see, and he's named two pretty cool fighters I'd love to see him match up against: Nate Diaz, Tony Ferguson. Who do you reckon's a better fit for Dan Hooker, since Nate Diaz has been putting a little bit of work at welterweight against Leon Edwards, unfortunately coming off a loss, but Tony Ferguson had a fight a good bit ago, at least over a month ago, in lightweight, and Dan Hooker's obviously an active lightweight contender. Do you think Nate Diaz moving down to fight Dan Hooker would be an interesting fight, or do you think Dan Hooker should fight Tony Ferguson, who's already active in his weight division?
I mean, no disrespect to Dan, but I would rather see Tony fight Nate. That's my point. I feel like, I'm just saying no disrespect to Dan, but I'd rather see Tony fight Nate because both men love are out for blood, both off a loss, both slightly older as well. You know, Ferguson's 34, Diaz is 36.
36.
Yeah, both are fucking gangsters, so that's what I would rather see. But if I had to, if it was a gun to my head and I had to decide between who Dan Hooker fights next, I'm going to say Ferguson.
Me too.
Because they're in the same division. And I think it's because of Nate's status. I don't think he would want to fight Dan Hooker in the first place.
No, I think Diaz wants to put in work at welterweight because there's less of a cut. Even though he's kind of used to fighting blown up lightweights. But I think Dan Hooker versus Tony Ferguson was probably the best option. That'd be fucking sick because they got very similar body type. Obviously, Dan Hooker's noticeably taller than Tony, but that, you know, you've got gas tank, you've got fucking a lightning battle on the fucking feet, and then who wouldn't want to see Dan Hooker fight Tony Ferguson when, you know, Tony's got his back against the wall? That's a dangerous fight. He's on a 3-fight losing streak now. What's Tony going to do? Is he going to do some flying Imanari roll against Dan Hooker and snap his leg or something? I don't know. But that's fucking sick. I'd love to see that fight.
But then again, backtracking what I said, Dan Hooker Tony Ferguson versus Nate Diaz, that would fucking sell.
That's the ultimate cardio match, but that would have to be a 5-rounder.
Be the first 10-round fight.
First fucking 25-round fight.
How about this? There's just no rounds. You just throw him in the cage.
How about we do like submission grappling and things like that? How about we do no time limit, finish only? Old school, where the way they did with the Gracies. So they're just like you either knock them out or you submit them, or they quit.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking sick.
Well, both of them have insane fan bases. Like, people were chanting Tony when he was coming out to Benel Darouche, and people were booing Benel Darouche as well.
Who's such a nice guy.
He's such a nice guy. What do you want? You know what I mean? He's got a kid now. All he wanted was a Tesla. He got his Tesla. He got his Tesla. Good for him, finally. But I just think that card would sell, Tony Ferguson versus Nate Diaz, and they make it a 5-round fight at least as well.
I don't know if they can just keep being like, yeah, fuck it, 5-round fight, because like they already did that with Diaz versus Leon Edwards.
Yeah,
and I don't know if like every time Nate fights, they'll just be like, yeah, fuck it, make it a 5-round fight, make it a big advantage for Nate Diaz and a big disadvantage for his opponent. I don't know if they'll be so quick and easy to do that, but Tony Ferguson versus Nate Diaz in any kind of round would be amazing. I just feel like it probably won't happen because Nate is probably tied up in the welterweight division now. Yeah. And I think... and
he's on a very, very short time span right now.
Yeah. I think he's trying to be active, but it's a short time span for sure. I think the best one for the timeline for the fans would be Tony Ferguson versus Dan Hooker.
Yeah.
That still is in the top 10 lightweight rankings, and they're still fairly close in the rankings themselves.
Yeah.
Similar losing streak. I think Dan's on a 2-fight losing. Is it 2-fight losing streak or one?
Well, he lost to Chandler and he lost to Poirier.
He lost. So he's on a 2-fight losing streak. Tony's on a 3-fight losing streak. That's a good pairing. Yeah. So I'd love to see Dan Hooker versus Tony Ferguson for sure.
For sure. I reckon it can happen.